Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Four Steps Coffee Talk. Today, I have a special guest from the United States. Hello, Janice.
Hello, Anna. Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much for accepting this invitation. So, as I have told you before, the purpose of these informal coffee talks where we have, look, I have a cappuccino with me. I am well prepared. The purpose of these coffee talks is to talk with my colleagues that I have met in the Sedona College of International Management, to invite them to talk about their success stories and how they have applied the diamond cutter system in their life. And in this way, they have reached several goals that they have had in the past or they have right now. So the main goal of this talk is to inspire other people who are not very familiar with the diamond cutter system to try to use the 4 steps to get what they want. Yeah. So I am very passionate about the system. I have used it in my life for almost 3 years already. I am far from being perfect, but I am advancing every month, I believe, if not every day. So I would like to ask you, Janice, when did you come in contact and how with the diamond cutter system, and how did it improve your life overall?
Oh, that's interesting. My daughter actually brought me into the diamond cutter system. I've been in business for decades, and she brought me the diamond cutter book in 2011. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit slower than Anna. It's taken me a while to embrace it, probably because I'm a little stubborn. But she brought me the diamond cutter book, and then I went through a crisis, and I realized I really needed something. So then I went to one of the presentations that Geshe Michael Roach, who wrote the diamond cutter book, was presenting, and I was interested. And I'd have to say I was hooked just a little bit. In that first presentation that I went to, he talked about the 4 steps, and I heard it, and I scribbled them down really quick, and I thought, I want to try this. But I have to tell you, there was a time gap between when I learned about it and when I tried it. So in 2011, I went to that talk. I was inspired. And then I went back in January of 2012. And then I took a break. Had another crisis. I had breast cancer, and I got through that. And then I was hooked. 2013 went on, and I really have used the 4 steps to change my life in so many ways. But the one I can talk about the best is how I've used it in my business. Mm-hmm. I've had businesses here in Colorado, in the United States. Oh, I've started 15 businesses, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. But since I started with the diamond cutter and I start new businesses, they work. And I'll be happy to tell you more about that if you're ready for it, right, Anna?
Yes, of course. So my next question would be to tell us, please, about one of the biggest goals that you have achieved by using the 4 steps and how you have actually implemented the 4 steps. So from the first one to the 4th one, can you guide us through your process?
Oh, I've used the 4 steps in a lot of ways, but one way that I always use it is I have seasonal businesses. So they're open May through October, or, actually we're working in there from March to October, through October, 1st of November. So I have to have seasonal help. And when you don't employ people year round, you don't know if they're going to come back the next year. So I'm always looking for employees. So I've used the 4 steps to plant employees. And the way I did that was to make my competitors my business partners. I have several that I help. I share employees with them. For instance, like I'll hire them, I'll be active, I'll plant these employees, I'll get them, and then I share them when I don't need them. I share them with other businesses in town. And not only that, here's something else I do, which I actually really enjoy. I have volunteered to go in and work in 3 different shops in town. You know, just when they were shorthanded, I had enough help, I would man their cash register, go in and dust their product or whatever, because I like doing that. So I know that that's planted the seeds for me to always have help and to have good help. Also, in our little town, we have a shortage of housing. So I've actually provided housing for some other businesses' employees. So my first thing that I did was I decided what I wanted. That's step 1. I need help. I can't do it alone, so I have to plant the seed to have good employees. 2, I helped somebody else who needed employees. So that was, you know, you have to find somebody who wants what you want and then to help them get it. And number 3, just do it. I work in their stores, share your employees, share ideas with them, meet with them, talk about how to get employees. And then number 4, Anna brought a coffee cup. I didn't. I had mine early and I left it over there. But I am just so happy. I get so excited. I just go on and on because it works. So I'm so happy that I've tried this new system and I have employees. I'm always doing it every year. And right after I set my mind this year to plant the seed for employees, I got 3 in the same day. They called me. I don't even have to place an ad anymore. They just call me. They and ask if they can work, and I check them out. Yeah, and then they come back.
That's amazing. So what caught my attention is the fact that you are a business owner and you are going to other shops to actually help them with your hands.
Oh yeah, I like doing it. I mean, actually, it might sound funny. Yeah, I'm a business owner, but I can't, you can't tell it. My house is messy, but I love to dust and clean. You know, I'm tied in there. I can't go anywhere, so I just focus. I like to clean other people's stores, and I like to rearrange them too. I love to merchandise, so I'll go in and happily do it for someone else.
And I'm very curious, are you coffee meditating when you are doing that?
Yeah, you know, I didn't used to. I mean, I was just feeling good, you know, and happy to do this and looking at the difference I was making. So happy to do that. But now, you know, I've learned, oh, I don't have to do coffee meditation or be happy about what I'm doing just before I go to bed. I can do it all day long. And that's a benefit. It's just all day long coffee meditation, all day long being happy that I'm helping someone else get what they need.
Yeah, but that is really difficult. Not difficult. It takes some time to create this habit of doing coffee meditation all day, every day. Yeah. So could you give us an example of a coffee meditation, because it sounds kind of weird? Yeah. So what does this coffee meditation? Should I have my coffee with me? Should I stay in a meditation posture? What should I think about when I'm doing coffee meditation?
When I do coffee meditation, I just think of it as being happy about what I've done, just feeling really great. And no, I don't have a cup of coffee. I didn't even remember mine this morning. I had it really early. I just, like right now, I am just filled with happiness that Anna is doing these video conferences so that other people can learn this technique. And it's that sense of joy that I have in myself when I'm dusting something or creating new merchandising techniques in somebody else's store, really having the motivation to want to help them, and I don't always even think how it's going to come back to me. I just, in that moment, am so happy I can help them.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it anywhere. I love it. I mean, just talking about it, I get super happy about it. And I think that's a good thing to think about, you know, like, I don't know how it is around the world, but I think this might be a problem. We sometimes feel like, well, it's probably selfish if I have the attitude that, you know, I'm going to get something back, you know? So it doesn't matter whether you feel that way or not. You're going to get something back. You don't know how it's going to ripen. You're doing it all the time anyway. So why not do it with joy? I don't have to think, oh, what's going to come back to me? Because I don't know. I just take joy in that moment that I'm able to help someone else with something that I love doing.
I was laughing earlier because when you were saying about what's going to happen after you plant the seeds, after you are doing your coffee meditation for the help, yeah, it's like wishing not for the gravity not to pull you down. Yeah, it's not. So these 4 steps is like a natural law. Yeah, if you put a seed in the ground and you water it, you take care of it, that seed will grow. You cannot push it back. Yeah, so in my opinion, it's an act of wisdom to not reject what's going to happen after you do a small good thing for another person. We shouldn't be walking away from the direct effects of our kindness. It's
Right.
illogical. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's what, like I mentioned earlier that I'm a little bit slower learner. I know that about myself. But the fact is, we're doing it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
We're planting seeds regardless of whether we're thinking about it or not. But the fact that if we understand the pen, and I know Anna has taught the pen, and I believe someone's taught it during her conferences, how the pen is coming from us. Well, everything's coming from us, and we're planting seeds all the time. And if we start becoming aware of that, then we're more mindful of what seeds we're planting.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just becomes such a habit that you just do things with joy, just happy to do them. And you start being aware of what seeds you're planting, and that I love that. The intention makes that seed grow fat and strong and ripen much more quickly. And I really like to apply that when I do my coffee meditation. Like, I don't want employees 10 years from now. I need them this summer when this pandemic's over. So I want to water them right now so that those seeds will ripen more quickly.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I have another question. Can we consider being grateful on a daily manner as being sort of a coffee meditation? What do you?
I would definitely say yes. I just spoke to my mom this morning, and I just reminded her of how grateful I am for her. She's helped me. She was retired, and she helped me in my stores. I have multiple stores. I live in Silverton. I have stores in Uray, and that's 23 miles away. It does not sound like very far, but it's over a treacherous mountain pass, and she lives on that side. She managed a very good store of mine for years, and she helped me get employees. She taught me how to treat my employees. She's taught me so much. And I just express such deep gratitude to her all the time, whether she's with me or not. I just have that gratitude. And I would say gratitude is definitely a coffee meditation.
Mm-hmm. Great, great. Because a lot of people that are in this personal development journey, they are learning about gratitude in various different systems. So I was trying to draw a parallel or to make some connections between what the diamond cutter system is saying with the coffee meditation and gratefulness. So there are some points where they are linked. They are not the same thing, but they are very linked together. Can you give us some examples on how you are applying the 4 steps in very, very small ways during a normal day?
Yeah, I can. Right now, this town I live in, it's very small, it's very isolated, and there's some people here without cars, and I knew that this was probably going to happen, that right now, I don't know when you might be watching this episode, but right now we're in a pandemic so we're asked to stay at home and not leave our homes. We've been asked to close our businesses, which I did beforehand. Just no unnecessary contact with people, but there were people who needed to get out of town. So on 2 days before we were restricted to stay at home, I took one of my neighbors to Durango, which is 50 miles away, and helped them get groceries. And I helped another person who feeds all the stray cats in town by she doesn't know that I did this, but I dropped off at her house a 50-pound bag of cat food so she could continue feeding all the stray cats. And on a different day, I took another person shopping so that they could get groceries, so that when we were actually restricted and confined to our homes, everybody that I was able to help has food, and the cats have food.
That's beautiful. And
That's small ways, and there's just so many other ways. I've been taking food. My daughter lives here in town, and my two daughters, and I've been walking food over to them and leaving it on their doorstep. Meals that I've cooked and healing teas, and because one of them's not been feeling well, so I've been taking food to them.
That's really nice. That's really, really nice. Okay, what else should I ask you? So you told us about how you are planting employees in your seasonal business. You have told us how you are doing small things for other people on your daily life. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be a great effort. We just need to pay attention to what the other people might need. And now I'm thinking about your story with the cat food. Yeah. This one I will not forget very soon. You also have told us that you have learned about the diamond cutter system from your daughter. And I find it very interesting because I had another guest, Tien Wong, from Australia. She told me that she told us that she got in contact with the diamond cutter system from her mother. So it runs in the family. I got in contact with the system from a friend of mine, when I was telling her about my at that moment it was my big business goal. Now my business goal is much bigger. At the end of this coffee talk, can you share with us your life vision, Janice? And how this system is fitting into your life vision?
You know, my life vision is to try to help everyone understand how every thought we hear ourselves think, the words we hear ourselves say, and the actions we see ourselves do is what's creating our reality around us. You know, I really would like for everybody to just understand that even a little bit, so that we could all start planting, you know, what we want in our lives by helping someone else and wanting those other people to succeed. It's really changed my world. I've had people that normally in conventional ways I would have been angry at, and now I'm just going, oh, the pin, they're coming from me. If they're coming from me, then, you know, I have no reason to be angry at them. I did something in my past that now they're just the postman delivering back my package. And I keep that in mind all the time. And it kind of reins me in from being angry. And I don't know, it's just changed my life. And if we could all have some awareness of how we're planting our life every single moment, all the time, we can start planting good seeds for a different life to experience next week. You know, I love that. And I would really like to reach out there and give everybody even a little taste of that. It could change the whole world. And I think that's what Anna's doing.
Thank you so much. And this is apparently what we all want. So all my guests have the same life vision, more or less. And that's absolutely beautiful, because the more we are thinking the same thing, we are growing the chances to really make it happen in some foreseeable future. You said something very interesting, and I want to follow up on that. You talked about anger. That when somebody is upsetting you, the pen, so it's coming from you. Can you share a little bit how do you remember that an irritating person is coming from yourself and it's not coming from from his own side.
Okay, that's pretty funny. Last week, a fellow colleague and I, maybe it was 10 days ago. Actually, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, my colleague Alex Rowland and I did a talk on impossible anger, where we talked about, the second husband in the kitchen, which I'm not sure you're aware of, but we're angry at someone who doesn't exist because we think that they're existing from their own side, not from what I've thought, done, and said in the past. So I did that talk, and then about a week later, somebody called me on the phone and just really was mean to me and irritated. And I was then thinking about it. I go, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And they just started attacking me. And I was really upset. And then I'm going, I sounded just like that two husbands in the kitchen routine. I didn't do anything when I did do something. So there is a thing called the application gap. I have been studying 10 courses at the Sedona College of International Management. I know that, I've finally understood that not only the pen, but my whole reality is coming from what I've thought, done, and said. But in that moment, when somebody's yelling at me, I don't always remember. But the more I practice, the shorter that gap becomes. It took me a bit, I have to tell you. I didn't instantly remember that person who was yelling at me was from me having yelled at someone. It took me about an hour before I realized, oh my gosh, I just did a talk on this and I can't remember it. So be gentle on yourself. But the hour that it took me to remember, I used to never even think about it. I was just going, oh, they are unpleasant from their own side. But now, that hour is going to turn into a half hour until eventually I'll create a habit where I'll always remember I planted this, and I'm going to be so happy that person is, just getting that out of the way, burning that seed off. Yeah. So there's a thing called the application gap. It does take practice.
But 1 hour is extremely quick. Because we can all think about periods in our lives when we were upset with somebody for days, weeks, months, or even years for some of us. Yeah. So 1 hour, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah. When I got into the diamond cutter system, one of my crises was I was very angry and was holding on to resentment. And I have to tell you, yeah, I'm so happy you said that, Anna, because in 2011, I could easily hold on to a resentment for 6 months or a year. So yeah, I'm going to applaud myself. An hour, it's getting better. So there's hope, everybody. There's hope.
Yeah. And for whomever wants to manage their anger into extinction, so it's not managing, it's killing the anger, we strongly recommend level 10 from the Diamond Cutter Institute. Janice has been trained on it to teach it, yeah, but I was just a participant in Berlin 1 year ago, and after reading the manual several times and trying to understand the life tools, etc., one idea really stick to me. It was that anger is stupid. And I don't consider myself stupid. So I said, okay. So if anger is stupid, I will just eliminate anger from my life, because I was a very angry person. I was snapping like that all the time. And after really going deep into the logic of impossible anger, I became much cooler and more relaxed. Yeah, so that's absolutely amazing. But this is advanced 4 steps to eliminate your anger is an advanced 4 steps. Okay, Janice, so thank you very much for all the stories that you have shared with us. Hopefully we will inspire at least one person. Yeah, so that is my goal, at least one extra person to be inspired to use the 4 steps into getting what they want, yeah, by providing that thing to other people. And I hope to see you soon back in the US, when I will be coming to the Sedona College of International Management. And until then, we keep in touch. Yeah.
Okay, Anna, thank you for having me, and thank you for having the goal to help people.
Of course, like you too.
All right, Anna, thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.